bringing you hot, smoldering topics on a weekly basis. Your participation is important.
Thank you very much for joining us this particular morning. It's a Thursday and it is the 4th of September 2025, and it's a Thursday edition of the Burning Issue here on the Happy Word of 5 FM radio. But don't forget that we are also live on our partner radio stations. Namely, we are live on Katete radio, that is in Katete and covering literally the entire Eastern Province on 103.3. And of course, we are also live here in Lusaka on Millennium Radio. And don't forget that also live on 5 FM radio, like I earlier said. In Kabwe, we are live on Spice FM. Get also live on ZFM in Kapiri, and we are live on the Copper Belt on Platinum Radio, and not forgetting also live on iWave FM radio. So Platinum Radio is in Ndola and iWave FM radio is in Chingola. Both are covering the entire Copper Belt province. And also up north, we are live on Tuta FM. All right, and Tuta FM is in Mansa, covering the rest of the Luapula province. And not forgetting Muchinga Radio. Muchinga is in Chinsali on 88.1. Also, we're live on our Facebook page. Make sure you look out for it. We are live on 5 FM Radio Zambia. You can like the page, share it, and indeed leave us a comment, because we'll be looking at your comments. And later on in the course of the program, we'll also open the phone line, and that is on 0955 221515 for you, our listener, to interact with our guest. And I'm your host, Zachariah Banda. My guest today is Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya. He is Member of Parliament for Lunte constituency and is former cabinet minister in the Patriotic Front regime. You on this program. Welcome to the Burning Issue.
Zaki, the pleasure is mine. Thanks for having me. Good morning to you. Good morning to our listeners.
How have you been?
Fairly fine.
Yeah.
Under the circumstances.
Yeah.
I know it could be better, but we are surviving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would say the same with the people of Lunte?
It's the same, and it's only very few people who would say that UPND has no opposition. People like Honorable Milupi, they are the only ones who are feeling okay. They are happy because for them, their businesses are doing well. For them, they are enjoying government privileges. So it is easy. UPND has no opposition. It is easy for him to say people are okay. It is very easy. But for people like myself, people like those who are being who cannot access business opportunities, people, my friend, now power is only available for 4 hours. Power comes at midnight, it goes at 03. You are in trouble. You can't say that things are okay. So clearly, I think that congratulations to those in the UPND government who are feeling okay. And stay like that. But I urge them to come back to the masses, to us who are in the majority, and begin to make things better for us.
Sounds like the same script, different casts. I mean, when it was your time, you never saw anything wrong. I mean, you never saw poverty. You never saw a complaint them any serious, because obviously, and the UPND were saying the same.
Yeah.
Well, they are eating, they are in government, they will not see the poverty.
Yeah.
Here you are. Is it just because you're no longer in government and now it's your turn to say things are bad?
Remind me in the PF when donated drugs were stolen by government, like UPND has stolen drugs which were donated by the American people. Remind me during the PF when they were contracts, or when people were purchasing things, increasing, inflating figure by 1,600%. Let me tell you, Zaki, when you inflate an amount by 1,600, what you are saying is a product which you are supposed to buy for 100 kwacha, you are going to buy it for how much? 1,600. You show me when that used to happen. Tell me when in PF, government exported electricity and load shedded people, only gave them power for just 4 to 5 hours. Tell me when. Let me tell you, when you load shed people, here where we are, when you load shed people, you are load shedding people in town center markets. You are load shedding people at city market. You are load shedding people at all markets, at Chisokone market, in Chabanyama. You are load shedding them. What that means is, badaba tela la babile fiakfwa la babomsha machine ayama light. Malaiting and I get babile fiakfwa. So nanguna kwata order ya kubiri refi ya kufala bali abali ya wedding, he won't fulfill, that person will not fulfill that order. You understand? But ngashu kabile fi ya kufala tachi se takuli ama light ala mkubule filefi aliko kadefi ya kubebesha, you know, shirenshi mbisha kubebesha sha kubika mwamalasha shila mwashi shubabazaki esho bala kubula amalasha sha kubati umulilonga watalo kamunshi mbiwa oche cha kufala icha kushitisha. Muremfa bambi babule mpoto emo babika amalashelo balechise fyakufala. Show me when we used to have that in the PF.
We saw in the PF. I mean,
my brother,
shockingly, the fire tenders pricing was shockingly
my brother,
unacceptable. It was under
brother,
PF.
Unacceptable.
Yeah.
Agreed. Unacceptable. Agreed.
Did you agree as PF? You never did.
You go back to my discourse. Okay. Go back to the views I projected. Myself, I can't belabor, and this story of PF, okay, this story of PF then, you know, to continue as a perpetual story now, you are in big problems, because remember, while there is that story you are talking about, I can show you the figures which PF spent in 4 years. I can also show you the figures that UPND has spent in 4 years. You'll be shocked that UPND has spent 100% more money in 4 years compared to the 4 years of PF, but they have produced no infrastructure, nothing. It was, you know, I was on one program somewhere where I told the people, look, colleagues, UPND, Baspenda, where are those numbers? Did I come with those numbers? Maybe I did. UPND in 4 years, 2022, 23, 24, and 2025, has spent an amount of 772 billion kwacha. You add their budgets. Now, if you go to PF 2021, 2020, 19, and 18, they spent an amount of 443 billion kwacha. 443 compared to 872 billion. That is 100. That is 50%. You understand? 443 is just 50% of what UPND spent. In other words, UPND has spent 100% more. Okay, but what development have they done? And don't be cheated by the Lusaka and Dollar Dual Carriageway, because that amount is not in this 882 billion. That money is coming from NAPSA, and I may comment about that.
We'll get to that.
Let me be clear.
Yeah.
This is an important matter.
Right.
This amount which they have spent by UPND, they have constructed nothing. The only things you are going to hear are CDF. CDF. And CDF is a minute component. Let me tell you, CDF is just 19.5 billion out of 872 billion spent. So if CDF is just 19, now to explain this easily, you know, for you, Zach, and others, I'll tell you, imona ineba Zach nga tuapanga 872 kwacha. Tien tuibweshe pati level yesu. Mwamfa? Tuli mtauni umo tuazezela nefi bala tuapanga 872 kwacha. Mwamfa, you and me, Zach. That means UPND and the Zambian people. Mwapanga 872 kwacha. Elo number na isa afumia hapo 19 kwacha 50 ngwe. Padi yana afumia hapo 19 kwacha 50 ngwe. Mwamfa? Eo na isa leta. Elwe iya shalo ku 852 kwacha 50 ngwe. Nshitamuishi vyoko hile. Elo na leta 19 kwacha ati. O 19 kwacha ACDF. Mwamfa? Ile shitamala Land Cruiser. rural electrification, rural areas na Lusaka, CDF. Ngeyi kulwi 852 kwacha nifinshi ya bomba nomba ifutwale numa billion budget yaba UPND. Then you should come here and be telling me Zaki, that it's the same story, it's the same script spoken differently. Be serious, my friend. Consider these matters, but also Zaki, and I want you to listen to this very carefully. Also, what you are saying about this same 19.5 billion, which is CDF for 4 years, what you are saying is that not to ipangira ma decisions. Mwamfa abantu mu local communities ipangira ma decisions. Who apangira decision ya kushtamara ndikuruza nani? Which community? Who apangira decision ya kukula ma palaces nani? Which communities? Wapangre decision ya kusenda ama 1 million ya ama ambulances, which ambulances were promised up to now, they have not been delivered in none. Which communities? Tell me which communities made the decision to put 1 million kwacha rural electrification. So the concept is bad, it is wrong, and the communication is immoral, and the amount is minute. That is what you focus on. But look,
but ambulances and Land Cruisers for the police, for example, and monitoring vehicles or project monitoring vehicles, those are one-off. It's not like they are being bought every year of CDF.
I'm a desk whose pronouncement is desks. I don't want to exhaust. Whose pronouncement is it that Kapangena maternity annex? Whose pronouncement? Which community? You leave me alone. Look, my brother. There's just too much contradiction around these issues. Too much contradiction. Government has no clarity. They don't know what they want to do. They also don't know what to communicate. Because if the idea is to cheat people, at least you decide that you are all consistent. Won't say you are consistent. But no, we have given power to the people. So in rhetoric, but the big issue is 19 kwacha 15 we eyo mwaisa afumyamuli 872 kwacha elo nombo buteko bwambo kulanda fe pali 19 kwacha 15 ngwe ishu kutakuli. Now what do you hear? Ishu kuishingita balelandako muleo mfafi ati no impia shari fuma mchalo 60 billion kwacha yali ya my illicit financial flows. No 34.5 billion kwacha baliba illicit financial flows. No 3.5 billion United States dollars baliba mwaikala kufe 3 months another 3.5 billion United States dollars baliba 2.8 billion United States dollars baliba sharia in illicit financial flows. Okay, chef makwise ndala meshishonze chef mamuno chalo tulondolweleni 852.5 ya kwisa ni finshi mwachitamo abanenu bazaki abanenu ba PF muri 443 bala milanga ama airport yali ama sausage airport, those airports which sometimes can even be voted as the best in some region. You understand? They show you those things. They show you communication towers. Wala mirange patala, how they upgraded all these things around, even in Lusaka here, you can see them. They show you in Misebonama bridges. They show you all how they expanded infrastructure. You go to Levi Mwanawasa, Kabienikuyu TH. They show you those things. But imwe development yenu yaba muri 19.5 billion. Development. That is why the president, the vice president, ministers, PSs, DCs, balanda pati CDF, it's poor on the part of UPND.
That said, then, what do you make of the fact that the UPND government going into their final year of this mandate?
Now, this is where we come down to issues, and this is where I hear Mirupi saying they have no opposition. And I would like to be very clear on this matter. You may have destroyed PF, And let me tell you, all those people who participated in the destruction of PF, all of them, trails are there. Trails are there. It is like all those who participated in the illegal transaction on the Lusaka and Dollar carriageway. Trails are there. So the public workers, my advice is be professional. Do correct things. Because if you do wrong things, you will be sanctioned. You will be sanctioned. My brother, yes, you may have succeeded or you may succeed in destroying PF. What you will not succeed to do is to destroy the people, because the people gave you PNG mandate for 5 years. And it's coming to an end. Next week on Friday, President Ichirema will be at Parliament opening the last session of this assembly, which is the 13th National Assembly.
Right.
You'll be opening the last session.
Yeah.
The next time, it will be whoever will win who will open the session. Okay, bakateka nga baya ku Parliament pa Friday. Bakashara no mukuma wa kubwerera. Mumachi, mukuchita report, ifira bachita report chira mwaka, or whenever he is going to choose to do that. So, you know the application of national values and principles, right?
Yeah.
So it's a constitutional mandate that the president has to make a report. So he will remain with just that one meeting. The next person who will walk through that door will be the one who is going to win in 2026.
Could be him.
It could be him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no question if he stands, because again, you can't just be assuming maybe he's not even interested in contesting.
Yeah.
You understand? He has to contest. He has to contest. If he contests, if he wins, that is if they are going to have a convention. If he has to win a convention within UPND. That is if there's no one who will challenge him. But if he loses their convention, their conference, then whoever wins comes and contests. So at the moment, you can't just say whoever is going to win is the one who walks through there to open, Parliament. So the opposition that UPND has are those people who are being given power only 5 hours a day. Baria baba manu can't customer nice abaremwe batyama right na yaya tetukube abwelela customer abwelela the guy loses a customer baria bale is at ndefu anchiteko tumishishindi ku wedding at malaiti yaenda but ba cancel chira bushiku ba cancel bale bakokola amalevi ama cancel levy. Listen, you have load shedded us from morning up to 18 hours. I'm a barber shop in the market at town center. In Shipangire Polupia Nanglumo, but Vacanso by some sender Ishavo. Those are the bad policies we're talking about. And if you ever think about who you can assist in this country, assist those people, cancel suspend the council levies until power is stable. Cancel, tell the people, can you kulipirisha abantu ama council levies? Can you kulipirisha abatelala? Can you kulipirisha abantu ankani ababeye mishishi? Can you kulipirisha ababa saluni? Can you kulipirisha bonse ababa shibombanga takuli ama light pantu? Abalele ngati kuiba ama light ni fuebo teko. So vakansole kenyu kubalipirisha mwila pitamo kulalipirisha abantu abashire bomba. That is inhuman. That is something that should not happen. But mule balipirisha. Those are the people who are the opposition to you, UPND. Bali mule kokola ama taxes ama mobile money operators. Mule bakokola ama taxes. Lidia mule chef ama tax kuma mine. Those are your opposition. Okay, but yabashile ikuta because ababasunga nangwabe ne tabakwete nchito tabakwete amakwebo. That is the opposition to you. But yabu abana baboteti baye ku skulu umulandi wako bati kutali na mulunda mafuta ya mtengo so ba minibus na bachiramo mtengo. So ndemieva opposition now kwataba UPND, you have a serious opposition, and if you don't see this, wait for next year, you'll see what will happen.
Not that I should interrupt you, but just so to let you know that the news reaching us right now over the sentencing of former Foreign Affairs Minister Honorable Joseph Malanji has just been concluded, and he's been sentenced to 4 years in prison. How do you receive that?
Bamalanjulesa amyafwefe abakakile babalanje buteeko bwa UPND ubuteeko bwa UPND nabukwata amaka okutukira bonse fwe bantu ero amaka bukwete maka yesu fwe bantu bamalanje bajoin ababiye baba nomba 6 ama MPs nangwa abali ama MPs ukubika pona nga mwabika pona bali ababiri abali ama MPs kale ba GBM na bakambwiri balesa kumpendwa 8 ama former leaders abakakwa bamalanje babakaka lero bamabonga bali bakaka bachitotera bali bakaka balusambu bali bakaka bachilangwa bali bakaka bamunia bali bakaka ba GBM bali bakaka bakambwiri bali bakaka mwamfwa. So ifwe kulomba kulileswa kwa bati ababa nenso abafungwa aba lesale bafwa ero muri kino kyalo tekuka kwafe kweka muri nembutushi umunenso jeje yali butuka ukutina obuteeko bwa UPND but nabambi boko bali abale butuka ba Zaki, and this you must take note. JJ has run away, and we heard from the Minister of Home Affairs that they will make sure they find JJ. Okay, CEO wakuzema ali butuka aya chitira resign pa WhatsApp epo achitira resign ali butuka okubutuke imilandu yabwele wereyo bachita kunani ku Sino Metals mwamfa ba Jack Mwimbu tabalanda pwati to find ulasi tukamwikata tukamuleta but look at the problem of that pollution in Kalulushi, Chambisha and Kalulushi. Abantu mwachita pollute amenshi yabo yali ababonfya mulemfa ero mulefu ayo obuteeko buchite cover up ubuteeko buchite cover up mulange kwati tachiri filya chiri chiriko bwino mwaisa munana ba PS bayana mukunu wa menshi ba kupompyeko baya mukunu wa menshi ayisura menshi akupompye yanu ati aya menshi alifye bwino alaba ati kulya kuchambisha abantu banu wa menshi mufishima abantu banu wa menshi mu maboho abantu banu. Listen to me, stop mocking people, stop mocking people mulemfa umulandu ulya wakulisha American ambassador aima filafini aimine pamitishira baiba filafini aime pali corruption yakuzamusa aima tino chachila muchipimo echi abantu besu bonse abako America abali kuli lenchende fumeniko pollution iliuko yachipeshamano but ubuteko pakusala consultant ukusala fe consultant wako yachitaze esfilia ubuteko bule chitashani bule ingiramo si abene abapangira omulandu ati tuchite advertise abafish befese batubombere obutekwa tinose ndeni oyo saleni oyo okay uyo wine basaloyo yanomba kuli ati yo mwalifirufyanya sana nomba turefwaya tumichaye ko tupeni kandalama muri buteko bwa musango shani ukumulebika kama 1600% ukumwalipela omusebo mwalipela omusebo ukulya mwalipela maini ukuna kwena muri buteko bwa musango shani imitimu ashitesha mtengo mwayafisa ama container. Look, I was just talking about the amounts of money that has been flying out in illicit financial flows. But fiance fee, you don't want people to know. But listen, we know that PPP means public-private partnership. We know that public-private partnership comes into being when the government says that ndalama ishakupanga omusebo as a government tatukwe ndalama so turefwaya a private partner who has money alete mpia tumuperi omusebo apange omusebo elo ngapanga omusebo akalefumya mpia shakwe mpaka shirie sharetere shikakwane na profit yako ikakwane elo omusebo kabwere kuli ifwe uyu musebo abalepanga ni banani ni babuteko bale bonfye mpia shaba na nisha banapsa buteko. That's why you musebo tapari winga ya uchita inspect kano ba RDA abasumina tapari ba NCC ba yeseshe NCC ba isho kuchita inspect musebo RDA yakana Ba Engineering Association of Zambia bayisho kuchita inspect umusabo RDA akana. Murayumva? So ba RDA ebale pango musebo. Uria RDA buteko. Ukupitira mu Chinese contract. Banapsa ebale impia shaba banapsa in company ya buteko. Ni company ya bena Zambia. So nomba nga private partner nani? Urio ulepo kama fees. So how is that person a partner in this PPP? How is that company a partner in this PPP? Partner iso kwa bulana nguchimo kufuma kwafuma aisa panga feka office ambo kupoka ma fees because the money came from NAPS. And then you are calling it a PPP. Why are you calling it a PPP? Kanshina is better na rekabu MP. Mwayampela ko PPP.
But is a loan to the concessionaire, not so.
Which loan concessionaire?
It is a loan.
My brother, what I'm saying is the money is from government. Why is government borrowing a concessionaire when you said you have no money? You said you have no money. That is why you went for a private partner who has money. Aisana kachola. Aisana kachola. Akachola keka. And you see, now let me tell you, the trails are there. Ishindalama mukabwesha. Ishindalama muleyi ba concession ya mukabwesha, and you are going to return this money.
Trails are there. Trails are there, and I know that trails will always come back and definitely remind you of how you probably didn't do things right.
Yeah.
Other than the Malanji case, I know that's what took us to where you are.
Yeah.
But also, let me make mention that he was co-joined in this particular case by the former Secretary to the Treasury, Fred Sonyamba, who himself has been jailed for 3 years. And this is on a case of failing to follow procedure. Trails, right?
Trails.
Yeah.
Trails.
Yes.
And I have to speak to this hopefully in a sober manner, because it's important for me to be clear. Please don't frown on my face. Look,
Go on.
Look, the truth of the matter is this: I was in court yesterday.
Right.
But made in mitigation what the lawyer said on his behalf. Bayambo mulandu bapangile kufu ayenda lama ishale fu ayobuteko. Mwamfwa? Sourcing for money is the only crime. No to treasury ngate tiafu ayenda lama owo ingafu ayenda lama nani. Secretary to Treasury is the only one who has authority to vary the heads. And Bayamba went and looked for money from a head where he thought there was a saving to a head and moved this money to a head where he thought government wanted to apply the money. Wabamula ndo wabakake miaka 3. Ilelo every dan kane into any supplementary budget which comes in parliament from the time UPND came into power. Every one of them is an figure of that savings. Ayoma savings, they don't even explain at the heads where they are declaring the savings. They have never explained the heads. And let me tell you, whoever is moving all that money, that has now been criminalized. It is happening now because I have seen it in the supplementary budgets. I've raised that issue. It has been ignored. Now, the thing that I've been saying has been criminalized by court. UPND, you are in trouble. You're in big trouble. The same things that you do are the same things for which you have jailed Yamba. So you don't say because it's Yamba, it's okay. You are in big problems. You better start now analyzing all those savings and go back and get them ratified. Otherwise, without ratification, you are in big problems. Even this, yeah, I was talking about it's dual carriageway, it's PPP chabufi. Okay.
Well, just let's talk about it, because no doubt the
Yes.
Lusaka and Ndola dual carriageway, whether you like it or not, will
Yes.
be a success. Because I mean, it's now at over 45% complete. And so, what
Congratulations.
is your thoughts on it? Because
Congratulations for reaching 45%.
plus, yeah,
Plus, you may even finish before we go to elections. Congratulations if you do. What is the issue is it's not a PPP. That's a government project, 100% government project. The money is coming from government and it's being done by government. Okay? Because a private party na ishira nechola. Tale tamonangu chimo Mzambi. Now, since private partner, that's why I'm telling you, private partner, you pay that money. You pay with interest.
Is this a trail? Is this a trail you're keeping under file? Should the PF bounce back? Is this going to be one of those trails?
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It's not me who announced the funder. It is government. It's not me who announced that it's a PPP. It's government. It's not me who brought Moik. It's government. So government know who that private partner is. Government know who is collecting toll gates. The Arama toll gates, they now don't go in the coffers of government. They go in the coffers of the private partner. Who came in a chola? Who came to get money from NAPS? From government. If on a tram yebe that naine kan shinde kafe MP, mumpere ko PPP, ba UPND bali firo kufisha malait paka patu. Beta mwa mpera ko kalaka line kawaze skona afisha malait paka patu. Imwebe neba government mwa isa bika MP. Then it becomes a PPP. Then the money starts coming to me. That's what government has done. Government puts money in a project and then they bring a person at you are a private partner katampio kuchita collect revenue. You are in big problems. This problem is just the same as Mopani. Same as Mopani. That's why you had the confusion. No, it was a sale. But the announced website, the announcement to a printer, to have a parliament to have a payla, in sale. Bamonat sale to a life $1. It was an issuance. Okay.
What's the difference?
He said no. Issuance. What was the nomenclature? The correct nomenclature was that. It was an issuance. Like you issue shares from the unallocated authorized capital. And then because it's an issuance, therefore there was no need for the investor to pay money. You understand? But why does a company issue shares? Why? Also, it was an allotment. That's the correct nomenclature. So this guy comes and says it was an allotment. Okay. To explain this maybe in a much more clearer way. You see, when you form a company like like Mopani ila kuatama shares, maybe 5,000 shares. Okay. But they can only issue what they want to issue according to amount of capital they want to raise. So what remains unissued can be issued at another stage, okay, to raise more capital. You understand? So what now government began to say was that, no, we didn't sell shares. We didn't dilute the existing shares. We issued more shares. But the point is, why do you issue shares? You issue shares in order to sell them to raise capital for the company. But imomo ayachita issue, ama shares 51% mwapela for free. Ukupela. So uyowini omuntu mwapela ya free ama shares. Mwamutemwa shani ukuchikama Zambian. Pantu apoka control. Today, even this hotel here in Leopards Hill is affected because you have diluted the ownership. And then abakashtaka hotel kala bakesa kuzetsi CMH kukaya 49%. 51 wikaya kuli bade mwapela ama shares. So all the assets which belonged to Mopani, all of them, the 51% value, kuli bade mwapela ama shares, kube na Zambia kwa shara 49. So ngamwasa that, it's building chaba Mopani tureshitisha lelo. turechichitisha abena Zambia bakesasenda kufika 49%. 51% ikaya kuli bademu apela ama shares because they never asset by 51%. So all the assets which belong to Mopani, which you are going to sell, listen to me. You are talking to people who know. You are talking to people who understand and don't think everybody is a fool. Shikesabwela with proper interest so that I am a chusha abena Zambia bade pita moya kese chepa.
This is the Thursday edition of the Burning Issue. My guest, excuse me, my guest this morning is Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya. He is Member of Parliament for Lunte constituency and former Cabinet Minister in the Patriotic Front regime. And later in the course of the program, I will give you, our listener, an opportunity to call in and interact with our guest. Let me move you to the fact that you have been a critic of the UPND policies, including the functional CDF. I know you touched on it a little bit, and I did say, look, we'll get back to it, and it's time now. Why does it appear that nothing the UPND will do is good for you?
No.
Or has done is good for you?
No, my brother. No, my brother. I am talking about UPND vis-a-vis policy. Policy creation, policy implementation. That's what I'm talking about.
Nothing is good?
You may see a lot of good. I don't see anything good.
That's my question.
I don't see anything good in keeping yama farmers abalima ukubasunga pama satellite murefu rafyo kushita amataba. Excuse me. Murefu rafyo kushita amataba mureba chusha. These people, first of all, pakupoka umufundo mwareba pera mameda. Bailuisishe umufundo balima. Lidia balima nombati bese bashitishe amataba kuli imwe ba uteko. You are keeping 3 months. 3 months abantu bale chula. I can't support that. I cannot support you telling me that ECDF abakula pangama decisions. My local communities. That all decisions will come from local communities. And then you go ahead and start directing. Kuleni amasano, shteni ama deski, pangeni ama Antoine Kanya ama listen, the list is too long. And I can go through. I have that capacity, but I may not have the time. Then instead of you saying, no, even though we have taken money to the constituencies,
people,
we are the ones who are taking the decision. Or at least part of the decision. Significant decisions for that matter. So I can't support that. Even though you can tell me, you can convince me that CDF has been increasing. It's politics. It's rhetoric. Because why am I saying it's rhetoric? Because I told you earlier, 852 billion. You don't talk about it. You don't tell us where it has gone. You don't show us projects where you have invested it. This is why one MP in Parliament asked the Vice President, okay, CDF, project yabidi. Ayamano, oyo muach tapo. You should have seen how the Vice President was all over the place. International journalist is interviewing the president. Ukwambo kulanda pali CDF. Kwambo kulanda pali 19.5 billion. Mwasha 852 billion. What is that? So if you're ndekana, it's better akaka 19 mwaka poso ko mwambo kunja befo mwa spend 800 billion. I'll be more happy. Look, it's impossible to imagine that the entire government can focus, and that is my point, can focus on 19.5 billion, mwasha 800 billion. So you want me to be happy that the entire budget is ignored. It's ignored. But you want me to join you praising this? No, I can't. I can't. Because I think that if you are talking about this big amount, our budget now for the past 4 years has reached, the highest of all time. So this is why we are able to import electricity.
But there are also student allowances, for example.
Yeah, it's fine. Those students, their universities are load shaded. Their universities are load shaded. And don't also forget that CDF mwaliba component yama students. Okay, those students are load shaded, my friend. And when they are load shaded, there's no power. There's no water. Who use water from boreholes? Even this water from from water integration companies, because they depend on. Okay, if you my friend, so the amount it's calambate. Tell us power, and you made sure that Zambians have power 24/7. But abo muchita tax every day through the local council. Ako mupoka ama council levies the welders. But yeah, are they able to have power throughout the day so that they can make business from which to pay council levies? No, there's no power. You want me to be happy? Look at these decisions. Have you heard about the export of maize? Export of maize is so expensive. So expensive, my friend. So when you export maize, it's like exporting copper ore. Mwaimba fieloba, mwaimba fiamaloba, aya copper, mwachita export iloba, lieka, kwa gula kuchita process. What you have done is, mwache fienchito, kuba kugayo bunga, mwache fienchito kuba kulongo obunga, mwache fienchito kuba kuzezela nefibalo kuzezela obunga bukachepa, mwache fienchito kuba in fact mwaliona ula kale nchito na kuli bazesco pantu bazesco, the more milling plants mill, the more zesco sells power to milling plants. But since bazesco tabako atamalaiti ayakupela abantu muno chalo mchita export yamalaiti ku Namibia, a minister came to thank UPND government for doing that. Since you've already done, you are now literally damaging everything. You are damaging everything. Keep the maize here, mill it here, get the byproducts of that milling process. Give your animals will become more healthier and better. If you have more, sell to the neighboring countries. Begin to sell, developed products. That is what it means to add value. Don't just be talking about value addition when in fact what you are doing is selling raw material grade zero. It's very, very important for government to become consistent. But this is what they aren't doing this just to maize. This is what they are doing to copper ore. At Imbeni copper ore, export it. Okay. A minister was telling us that number mining is boosting copper production na yambo kuya pamodo. Ababa pangre decision ya kuchita export copper or baisa mkutu bati production ya copper ya panshi because there's no smelting capacity in Zambia. So we are exporting copper ore in order to improve copper production. Listen to me. What are you talking about? When you export copper ore, and if you export it, for example, to Congo, Shimanch to type with Kuli copper oil. And then Congo goes and processes that copper ore. Copper. Is that your copper? If it is not your copper, how is that going to improve your production? But other than Ubufi, other than Ukube Pobufi, you have taken away jobs, my friend. You have taken away business opportunities to the country where you're exporting raw materials. So don't tell me I should be happy with that.
Clearly, you are happy.
Want to join you.
Clearly, you are happy when you are happy when I asked you about student allowances. You should be equally happy about free education, and of course, grants to schools.
Yes, thank you. Happy about the concept. Okay, happy about the concept, not about the reality. I am not happy about the quality of free education. It can be better. I am not I'm not happy about the student allowances, because it's a loan. It's a loan to them. It's not free. That money is added to the bursary loan.
It's still better, no?
I'm sorry, my friend.
Unlike during your regime, where you literally withdraw.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. You are indebting people who graduate from universities and begin to look for jobs in a country where you are exporting raw materials, exporting jobs. So you are plugging the job, and then you are indebting university. They are becoming in neck deep in debt. So while you can say it's good, yes, the story, the rhetoric, the politics is good, but the quality of the service is bad for the future, my friend. It's bad for the future. And that is where I'm going to differ with anyone who wants to promote something which doesn't make sense. Because I have to see through these things. I have to see through these things. Free education. Balana bekuta mu class. Abama teachers abafunda. Mukufunda na abadana bekuta. Kabieni kupemiki kuliamuye mona aba teachers how they are in debt. How much they are in debt. If in Congole shasha kwa tama teachers kuchula kwa lenga. Congole shasha kwa tabaka pokola kuchula kwa lenga. And why are we going through all these things? It's because of bad policies. Bad policies of who? It's not policies of UPND. And don't say no. No, I am not happy about the policies. If they do something,
don't tell me you don't hate them.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not personal. I am never personal. I was lucky. My parents were good parents. My father gave me 2 lessons. Okay, be truthful. That's the lesson number 1. And then love people. Just left me 2 things. And that's who I am. I'll be truthful. And I'm going to love people. Okay? And my passion is a product of love for people. It's not, my passion will never be directed by hatred. Never. Never. I am also lucky that I'm a churchman. Okay? I'm lucky that I'm a churchman. And the teaching of the church is not different from what my father told me. So I'm lucky.
This is the Thursday edition of The Burning Issue here on 5FM Radio. But remember, we are also live on our partner radio stations. We're live on Katete FM in Katete, covering the entire Eastern Province. We are live here in Lusaka on 5FM Radio and Millennium Radio, and also live in Kabwe on Spice FM. We are live on ZFM in Kapiri, live in Muchinga, Chinsali to be precise, on Muchinga Radio. And we are live up north in Mansa, and not forgetting that that also covers the entire Luapula province on Tuta FM. And Copperbelt is well represented. We are live on Platinum Radio in Ndola, and also live on iWave FM in Chingola. We'll now take your phone calls for your participation. The number you're calling us on is 0955-221515, and 5FM Radio Zambia on our Facebook page. We'll definitely be taking note of what you are sending on our Facebook page. Once again, the number you are calling us on is 0955-221515. Let's take the first call. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Razak. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Please share your name and where you're calling us from, and you have a minute.
Thank you very much. This is Lawrence calling from Dola, Copperbelt.
Lawrence.
Good morning, Honorable Kafwaya.
Good morning, Mr. Lawrence. Thank you so much. Excuse
Thank you. Let me begin by saying that the 1 minute is too short. Okay. Naralanda semukusupawira. Indola dio carriageway. Varanda the previous regime what even at 1 point something billion. But in Varanda 650. In the actual sense, then yabapona more than that. Because many 22 years back collect some taxes. It come up more than what the previous regime used to work on it. The strong PF, let me go to the next item. The strong PF, actually, this is not about PF versus UPN. It's about the survival of democracy of this country.
Hello, we seem to be losing you network-wise. Can you hear us? Unfortunately, you have to call us back. We lost you along the way, and I know that's definitely a glitch on network, but please call us back. 0955221515. That's the number you're calling us on. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Please.
Yes, good morning.
Thank you very much for calling. Please share your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, this is Laston Mangan calling you from Luano.
From Luano. Laston.
Yeah, Luano.
Go ahead, you have 1 minute. Yeah, we seem to be having a challenge on our network.
Yeah. Kamera ndio achika kwati kule ba maranzi whatever. Ima oti matisha vechi pilot ushabari mechitapo investigate na mwalika kwako. Ndawani katako natalia so kwati paliri eri anshiria mirandu ifundelire konko wa mirandu. Imwe pamonga ba PFS mwali bomba kati kesi vyo ba UPND bare kesi shiri bwinwawe. Sindi mtengepe mwatasha maneni twali mu magasi kuli muri ba twale ipaiwa in the front of ba president wamfaka twale umwako makadazi all over so if text wekere muri ariama issues ya msango ya text ba UPND na 2026 turebwekerapo.
Well done. Laston, thank you very much. Let me see if I can pick this one. Good morning.
Good morning, Bazak.
Morning to you. Thank you for calling. Share your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Mutotwe.
Okay.
Calling you from Tandabale Ward in Chongwe constituency. Good morning, Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya.
Good morning, Mayo Mavukashani.
Well, it's a very sad day today, and you have rightly said, let us keep on praying for our colleagues who are being jailed and just so, that God may strengthen them. But me, I strongly believe if me as a woman was put in custody for no reason for over a year, you know, women are vulnerable. If I manage to come out with God's healing hand, even with the ailment I went with there, diabetes, I came out cured. Alatuira susharisa. Bamalanji abayajo inaba nabo. God has a purpose for that. Out of this very sad situation, something positive will come out. I believe that's the way God works. Otherwise, I'm so sad. I can't even find any question to ask you, but keep on talking on behalf of the people. Everybody's listening from you. I got a message from Chisadi. They are listening to you. Thank you. May God bless you, my dear son. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Madam Mumbi, for your call, and let's see if we can pick this one. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to you. We appreciate your calling us. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Thank you. Abdul Pakawapa.
Kwa inavuka bwino na totera sana.
Na totera hawa kiashimira koshe nisikote kumitotera no kumikotereshasie. Aya mazinde kitamo na nguru muri kitamo mumwe muza tusumbire. Ubuya ntashwa mu 2026 muiterenteshwa na bwena. Ground awantara so mukatane nifye in as much as very kompa monatike no alama ko nishi au wamu kataba mpara kujire imamu itakamana nemira mbere yabo ino katane nifye zenke ngi no tino kuterentiwa no kutera mulodi Nike pamoja protest alikuwa tama voters card through apukutana lero lini apandera ndana imwe ilina mumino wa kiashibani eko nataka kwa kulanda kona imwe na pesa sana.
Thank you Abel for your call. Allow me to maybe give you an opportunity to respond.
Thank you. Thank you, Zaki. And thank you so much for everyone who has called in so far. I think we heard from Lawrence. Unfortunately, the line was bad.
But he mentioned about
he talked about the Lusaka dollar dual carriage.
Yeah.
Okay. He said Momo Aderanda Tumkapanga muri $1.2 billion. Ababena Aderanda Tabare Pangamuri $600 million. Okay, of course I know that it was this amount was reduced to around 800 million United States dollars. However, Lawrence is saying, look at uliomusebonga pangwa pali MP abalande ba PF abale ngabale epoka
at that exchange rate
ngabale epoka amatogeti niba Ministry of Finance ukupitira muri ba NRFA emukutila impia ngashale ingira mu buteko bwa Zambia. So the expense ya uyu musebo, it's this $600 million. Then pia shonse sho wakapoka ba moiki elo bali ambaka lyokupoka ba moiki mule that's why three myebera tu ba moiki mukesa bweshenda ramesha. Okay, mukesa shibwesha because and then the other thing is this is also an illegal contract. Constitutionally, it's illegal because it did not satisfy the provision of Article 210. It didn't.
Which is?
Whereas Article 210 requires a transfer of an asset in the manner this is going to be transferred for over 20 years to a concessionaire. There is a requirement for a vote of 2/3 majority in the National Assembly of Zambia. That didn't happen. I suspect one of the major reasons it didn't happen is because to take a contract to Parliament, you have to disclose information. And UPND does not want to disclose this particular arrangement. Because it's not even a PPP, I explained earlier. It is not. Anyway, I agree with him, but he's also saying, you see, the fight we are in is a fight for the survival of democracy. I think that's why we ended listening to this man. Yeah. He makes very consistent comments with even what the acting president for PF said, Honorable Given Winda, yesterday at court. It's a survival. Listen, look at how PF has been treated, okay? From the time the president said, you have started, what word did he use? Meaning reorganizing. What word did he use? I'll share with you when I remember. He said, tuzachinja mingalato. Muzachita mwavinila uku, tuabwera uku, tuagwila pamkos. You understand? Now, when a president makes such a bad statement, my expectation is that the political advisor will give him good political advice so that he can reverse it, because that is bad to remain in the public domain for the president. But what do we hear from the political advisor? He goes and says, tifianta. Literally, the same meaning. Okay? Tifianta. Now we are hoping limbi tukomfwako kuli umbi ukalanda kofimbi. Kwa isa ya ba youth chairman ku Diamond TV atukakamba pali yakainde tikumenya. Tizakumenya. Muremfa? So you are in big problems. Now this is what the Zambian people are going to fight. This is what they are going to fight. Okay? When you have bad when you have bad economic policies, you expect the economic advisor to properly advise the president economic-wise so that he can begin to take decisions that are going to help the people. What have we seen from the economic advisor? Instead, yakula chita advise by president, ariya mkuchita advise by marketeer. Ariya mkuchita advise abama money mobile transactors. No, that's not. Your job is to advise the president, for God's sake. What do we see? We see him interviewing the president. imwe bazake ko mwaba ba journalist ba president nga tabalifuayo wa mu private sector tibasenda wa ku Times of Zambia tibasenda journalist wa ku Daily Mail tibasenda wa ku ZNBC okay nga tabalifuayo journalist uli onse kuti basenda bali aba chitefu ya communication ku State House yoko ali hamasaka nangu muipwa wandi uyu mwenga umwacha wandi mwenga president basenda because bali aba chitefu ya communication baya vula economic advisor yewambo kubachita interview ukulanda pali finshi not pa economy not pa file chusha abantu economically bambo ukulanda pa file president bale ya mkulala 04 you understand then a few days later kwisamfa ukuliwa missing liama cause from the president 04 because of if you katushinga ni finshi fya ku South Africa. You don't do that. You don't do that. Ulia MP ulia. No, I found several missed calls from the president. Not if you have a land pa interview ya kwa economic advisor. Fimbi, fia isam kufuma. You don't do that. You understand? But look, I just extrapolated. But the issue is what ababa kulwano barelanda kwa gassing mutwale ipaiwa. My brother, you must understand. Count the people who have died kuma mfumbo. Penda bantu abafa kusensele. Penda. Okay? Count the people who have been shot dead. If you can't count, I can count for you. Okay? For me, this issue of killing hurts me at a personal level. Because I've lost a nephew. Mwana wa mkalamba wandi. Okay? Now, as a leader, that happened in my family. I should even be more furious with those who have died from far. You understand? Bantu bengi abafuile bengi mukavwatomu ulio mwache paramedics tabamuipe. And then you should be saying, no, I am sorry for every family which lost a human being during PF, as I am sorry for every family which has lost a human being during UPND. I'm sorry. It's terrible. It should not be happening. When those things happen, we should be thinking about how we improve the political environment. We should be thinking how we improve, law and order. We should be, and this is where you expect the application of the law to be fair, to be equal. You arrest people who have committed an offense the same way. Abantu ngamwabeka ne fifi ya pornography. Bazaki bami katefi ya pornography na uriyo mkashana. They should not just arrest you. Hello, you start dragging. You start dragging until you have public pressure. That's when you go and arrest that girl or that woman. No, you don't do that. Abantu bari bonsana abasangwa pari murder case. Mwaya ikatapo batatu nangu babiri. Umomwamusha. You don't do that. That is not improving, the application of the law. That is actually negating the intentions of the fairness before the law. So you don't do that. Yes, those people who died during PF, we should perpetually pray for the strength for their families, as we should do for those who are dying now at the hands of the police. 15-year-old boy ukumupika kuliva ZNS umulandu wabunga. You think you can tell you can psych me around this issue? Go and psych those who can't I'll end there. Bamayoba Mumbipiri, thank you for calling in. And Mumbipiri encourages ababa nenso abali mu kifungo. Bena ni babana kashibaire ku kifungo nishibali lwala BP nishibali lwala sugar baya ikalo mwaka utunturu kupula mwaka utunturu diabalebwela babwela na lesali baposha. So mulemu ina mu kifungo lesa kuti achitefu papo. God is in the business of doing new things in the lives of people. So as we pray for them, we should also be praying for God's will, so that God can be so good. But lidabaleka kaba malanji na bayamba bamwinga bali ba presidential
economic advisor.
Economic advisor. beena baali bakita kwiti n'olupwa lwabo lonse. Okay,
yeah.
So illiterate, we are sorry for the incarceration of Malanji. We are also saying congratulations to Mr. Muinga for being acquitted with your entire family on all the counts. All the counts. Congratulations.
Let me take some more calls.
Abel, did I respond to
Yeah,
Abel?
Abel was just saying,
Hello?
please keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Good morning. Hello, good morning. Oh, we seem to have lost that one, but call us back. Or maybe I take this opportunity to check what we have on our Facebook page. Njekwa Smakando says, when is bitterness going to end from this man, meaning yourself? But Raphael L. Mpiri, so Raphael Piri says, Emma President material ava, not these liars, UPND Atupesha. Okay, let me see. Raphael comes back and says, I love this honorable, very sober and talking sense. We are behind you, Honorable Kafwaya. Just unity as opposition. We kick out so that we kick out the failed government in 2026. Load shedding, Yanyanya. Vanabama service cable panyumba last week. All right. Okay. So, and let me see. This one is from Musukwa. Okay, Musukwa Nivel. Musukwa Nivel says, tell Mutotwe Kafwaya that all the PF aspiring candidates must agree just to support one person who can lead us and someone who has a vision and someone who can heal us as the party and nation at large. Time is not with us. Not everyone can be a president, please. And he tags you on that one, so you should be able to find it on your Facebook page. But then we have Richard Lenga. Okay, he says mulaikosele shafi ba Kafwaya. Okay, and let me give you Feston Ngambi, who says, apart from CDF, these school grants, student meal allowances, road construction, student loan allowances, funding to all government institutions, etc. We never saw this in PF. All right, that's Ngambi. Maybe at this point, I give you the chance to also hear from those calling us. Let me take this particular call. Good morning. Now, come on, Kabanjwa Oswald.
Kama mushanda kama utibera vamkama namwe tukafabana banifunza why after ujanti vamukana mu kuchechi kuweza president kukwasha kuwa marandi tapila marandi wamanga sinzi wakapantana wa president kapa wayopa kapewa marandi wazabwa ni ile bwapite kule ona wala kama kusinga za ndani wa mtu kafaka ana ngamtozinga ndio anaanza ya mtu kafaya imwese mwankanze pass mugulizana mwanda pass commission marandi wala mtu kafaya mgamuchega manindi da batembekeza chema ndio laptop antinala munga presentation ere mdani dictator mdani nda abantu amangiwa ni ambili mani kerwe mampizo manisa zao walipolap mani ore hapa vandana vamwitatu ati mamisa sikana yena walikola ati sisi sako nkewa wala kumchana nimeranga sisi kwa tena karo
Thank you, Oswald, from Chipata Overspear. Always a pleasure to have you on this particular one. If you'd like to be a part of this conversation, please call us on 0955 221515. This is the Thursday edition of the Burning Issue. Good morning. Good morning. Please share your name and where you're calling us from.
This is Bomsanje calling you from Kanyama Central.
Bomsanje, you have a minute. Please go ahead.
Now, Gabriel, let's come on this.
munatuuza kuti you are going to brand the tent.
You're going to do what?
You are going to brand.
Yes.
And depend from your old way. But the minute about money, Nikuti, Honica Makuira. In Kafwaya, today you can come on here, come out, you know, Masimu Severs, Palimuman Congole. So, you, my Gala about the Dimonava Siamangole, Masimu Severs, Kupia Silakuya, so Monga Monaruza, Jikuru, Moa. The branding Italy. Maroni kutimba chake mkaporwa waroli ndimo mnaiamba ya program na kuishia pakati kati which means majavasimu sema wanali kutemba mlimo ngozi kunali which means green so pakati wakambako masimu sema mapili so muzi wavamene munati so osa pia marume monga monaruza chichikuru kapena limukazi anika nilipo ya mene chinapasa chaka manjave na mutubakekeko.
Thank you, Brother Sanjay. Your minute is up. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. And let me quickly pick one more, and then I give you an opportunity to respond, because I know you've got a couple of them. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Okay, your name and where are you calling us from?
Mr. Mwira, boss.
Mr. Mwira, where are you calling us from? Please go ahead.
Inecho ndefo okulanda Kafwaya nami papata ebeni bagiveni rubinda mwikale panjeri omuntu imubene nimubwo ndedizirako kweba timo mule tuleterera abantu barechura panshap urabushikuna kumine kuchiza alikuri nabakala mukoso twalina bena kwali chinzo ko naire burabushiku masoshi bakala mukoso na pene kweba ati takwabe chiri chonse ora obotwale kale twale ruisho kubomba n'abafiyashi kula kwiri twale pitafe bwino na mamoto but apana irera mo papa de sindera ndakali panshi mperefyo muntu mo then bakalaba fiyashi bebiri masana iyo bekali n'abantu mutupere omuntu kusale takiri bwino icharo ichi natote.
Thank you very much. I'm tempted to give you just one comment on Facebook.
Yeah, why not?
All right. This one says, it's from Raphael Piri. I think Raphael must have given us something before. But this one says, no, not Raphael. Apologies about that. It's not Raphael, but this one is from Prophetess. So Prophetess says, Milanji went to build an embassy in Turkey for $150 million US in a presidential plane, in brackets, came back from the embassy. With the embassy being built, he quickly bought a helicopter a few days later, etc. Then the one who released the money was Mr. Yamba. So what is difficult to understand that?
Okay.
So meaning a few days from Turkey decides to buy a helicopter, then it's automatic suspicion that.
Listen, my brother, I'll start with that,
okay.
Because I think it's an important issue, as all the others may be that important.
Right.
The truth of the matter is that Honorable Maranji has been convicted and he has been sentenced. Okay, I am not crying about the sentencing of Honorable Maranji. I am praying for him so that he can be strengthened, so that, like Mumbipiri came out of prison healed. Let a new thing, let something new, let God do something new in the life of Honorable Maranji as he is serving in the prison. That is my prayer for him. May God strengthen him. And as I do pray for Maranji, this is the same thing I am doing for all other, convicts, those who are associates to me. Okay? I'll remind you, 2016 to 2021, only one MP lost a seat one MP, that was Dr. Shimba Kambwili. All the others went to the end, except those who were unfortunate to lose their lives. One MP, Dr. Shimba Kambwili, is the one who lost their seat. Between 2021 elections, 7 MPs have lost their seats in the National Assembly of Zambia. And there could have been more, because even me, I could have lost the seat. There could have been more, because there were 9 of us who should have gone. And then they added 2 to the 9 that had issues on their own. And then those who had already been removed from parliament at the time, us were being victimized. So this shows you the difference between what we had and what we have in terms of how they view governance, criticism. Let me tell you, when Shimba Kambwili lost a seat, he was a member of the ruling party. All the MPs who have lost their seats in this particular parliament are members of opposition. That is the difference. Then my brother Njekwa would say, when is this guy's bitterness going to end? Listen to me.
Are you bitter?
Listen to me, that's nonsense. It's foolishness for somebody to think I'm bitter when I am passionately speaking about things that are affecting the Zambian people, including Njekwa. If Njekwa is not being load shedded, he's lucky. He's lucky. There are too many people who can't do business because of load shedding. And this is why I was calling upon government to stop levying them. You don't provide power, they can't do tailoring, they can't do barbershop business, they can't do all this welding and so on. So don't get levies from them, it's unfair. These things I'm talking about are things that are there. So I'm sorry, my brother, for as long as this economical, political, and social environment persists, I will speak only the truth, and perhaps in this manner. It may get worse if the environment gets worse, because there is nothing to be happy about. Ubuteko bwamirisha aflatoxins. I mentioned the billions of dollars and kwachas which are going out illicit. Ubuteko bulechita bulefokola chitama cover up yama pollution. People are run away from the roles which they were given and resigning via WhatsApp, and then you can't even follow them. People are committing crimes. You are selecting who to arrest first. Others you can only arrest them after public pressure. Then you want me to be here and be saying Filifia Bueno. You want me to be here to be talking about these things with smiles. I'm sorry. I can't smile. And this goes to Bamunsanje also. You haven't lost, something significant like a woman, I'm sorry, Bamunsanje. In this, there's the future of my children. In this, there's the future of your children. The UPND has not promised to end load shedding. Do you want your children to continue being load shedded? Long after if tu alifa. Baka konkanye pokuba load shedded? Is that what you want? But meantime, bakaleba pokama taxes through council levies. You need to think critically. Civil servants ni mwewe mwashile Nkongole. Let me tell you, Shinkongole bapela kuma microfinance. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. PF left government how many years ago? 4 years ago. Which means shile Nkongole ba kongwele MPF shila ba di pila. Nkongole ba kwete shamu UPND ba Monsanje. You just keep quiet. I know you are a regular caller, and I know that we have a rapport, but learn to keep it quiet. That's why fear na government things and she landa pa fiance. They landa pa finto for na ishiba. Everyone they landa po. Okay. Well, somebody see bitterness, somebody said he's a very sober MP. Okay, he's a very sober presenter, or should I say,
Yes.
person.
Yeah.
And this is how people view things. Is sober, if you have chula. And the way I'm presenting this issue, and they think it's consistent. Okay, these are the people police should be pursuing. Okay. Bari abale befintu fyabazeswe fyabazambia reruiza abale ibira abazamteo, they should be arrested. The police bafuire bakosa not ukula kosa vyati jeje tukayamwikata ati tukamuleta jeje. Agree to support each other. Even if given Rubinda, mutupere ntunguru shitwambi okwenda. I think given Rubinda bari ishibecho. Okay, I think naifutu bari ishibecho, but ichikalambe echo mwilala ba UPND bali twikatire chipani ukubonfya fyale kanalekana. But epana natural bama civil servants chimo chine naba ku court. These decisions that they are taking are decisions that they are taking because of their positions. So bonse ababa chita participate mulichi bonse mukesa asuka abantu abakesa kontaji. Okay, so the PF, we have been in court for a long time. We have a lot of judgments. Those things, you come and respond. Yeah, I've seen on social media there are some things which are going up, but I would urge that we remain calm and wait. For maybe we can give ourselves 1 month to wait. We have waited all this long. We can wait for a month. We can wait for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. See how the entire system is going to operate, because we are in court, and when matters are in court, it's not good to comment very strongly about them.
Can I give you another pressing issue that I have here from Facebook? It's by Henry Mavimba. Says, good morning. We are concerned with the water pollution by cyanometals. This will have a far-reaching consequence for the people and the environment that depends on that river. My question is, didn't government implement regulations by compelling cyanometals to invest into advanced treatment technologies and enforcing water quality standards? Since this is a wake-up call, as legislators, what are you doing to actually protect our environment from such reckless practices by multinational corporations? Okay. I want to give you another one. Good morning. This is from Wansawesu. Says, good morning, panel. I hear that the Patriotic Front want to choose a leader through a convention. How are they going to hold a convention when the party is in other person's hands with documents, and he has already endorsed President Hakainde Hichilema as the sole presidential candidate for 2026? How are they going to get the party or the party's documents for them to be eligible, or indeed be organized or recognized rather by the ECZ to participate in 2026 elections? Those two I thought I should share with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Zaki. And indeed, they are both very important interventions. What are we doing? First, he recognizes the concern that because of that pollution, which some government agency wanted to moderate in terms of potential effects, where a PS went to drink water from the tap and said, you see, even me, I'm drinking this water, so the water is okay. What the PS forgot is that he was drinking water from the tap, which was processed water. It was worked on. But I have to remind the PS again, and in so doing, remind the UPND government. Several people in that area drink water from shallow wells and boreholes. It's different from the processed water that was drawn from the tap. So I am sorry. Now, this is an important pollution. Remember, the American government withdrew their citizens in that area because of the potential harmful impact that pollution has on human life. This is why sinometers wanted to, or actually contracted a consultant to do an assessment, which consultant again government influenced by influence sinometers and say, you appoint this one, this particular consultant. Now, when that happens, then you know it is the same as what the board chair said at ZAMSA. To procure medicine, to procure drugs, you have to get clearance from State House. When you hear a thing like that, it is similar to what the former board chair for ZCCMI said. Now, Fileka, because of interference from State House. Okay? In this case, it was also government agent saying, sending you. So you see the poor governance in that aspect. You see the poor governance. But it won't end there. Ngawaibukisha walasa ngama phone koyamo aya leaked by some minister who was being called, shan number one board chair, kwaisa wanaka koka minister Chitaliki, who was giving the instructions. You remember the building lodges in where you are shaking bombs. You remember that? So you have a big problem. You have a big problem. The thing is this, what are you going to do as legislators? This is the crux of the question. What will you do as legislators? Listen, my job is to hold the UPND to account. So I can take private members' motions to the National Assembly to discuss these matters and make recommendations for government to implement. I can take private members' bills if I am confident that this bill is going to improve the legal environment concerning a particular aspect, and go and lobby my fellow members of parliament to promulgate that law. Okay, listen, I can also make representations. Mulenga Kampamba, the MP for Kalulushi, was on the floor of the house, shouting at government, even saying brown envelope, brown envelope, yeah, that's why you are quiet. And of course, we saw some ministers who went to the copper belt. Mulenga Kampamba walelanda pa floor of the house. That's why you are quiet. Abantu bakaba affected each peshamano. Mwana in the American government efayachita. Ya fumya kwa abantu bao. Fumeni kota kuweme. Elo imwe nomba ubuteko na consultant mwaya kuli sinometers at no to pay $15 million tuwami eko report. Iri bad report but kuti tuwami kuti tuwaichitako bwino. Chamoneka ko bwino kubantu. Why do you want to tell the people what is not in existence? And you see the people who are colluding, who are conspiring to do that, when they run away, there is no police, there's no minister who come up and say tukayamuikata. Instead, Miranda tukaikata jeje. Unaemfa. Elo ba munsanja barenja bati no tabaku pokomu anakashi wila mfuiko kufuru. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the Zambian people.
Right. Also, I think we had a case of going for a convention. How do you?
Oh yeah, that's an important question. Yeah. Okay, I think I've also talked about that issue. I have urged the civil servants at Registrar of Societies. I've urged civil servants in the Ministry of Home Affairs. I've urged public workers in the judiciary. Be professional. Be professional. Your decisions will affect you positively or negatively. Your decisions about how you affect the Zambian people because of this problem and many other problems will affect you. So how we'll go to the convention is we are waiting to hear what the court is going to say. What the court will say will determine what decision we take. Yeah.
Catherine Makina on Facebook further says, good morning, Bazak and Honorable Kafwaya. Yeah, Honorable, you are speaking the truth. This UPND government has totally failed to rule this country. We are suffering because of this government. and we don't have power. We are in the dark. The cost of living is high. Poverty, it's too much in this government. In this UPND government, everything is in a mess. Awe Andy, Valiba more corrupt. Scandals are all over. Ubufi Bwafula, Ababa UPND 2026 Balea. Kuyabebe failed government. This is Catherine from Kabanana. Thank you, Catherine. Let me take just 3 phone calls and then we begin to conclude our conversation this morning. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mwabombachani.
Twabomba fe bwino katshini mwabani muletu mina kwi.
Kalisha mafukusiza from Mpongwe.
Kulishani kumpongwe.
Mpongwe tulebuke akuchure akutantamina mataba ba mafood reserve.
Mkwa ikonkanya nipo mkwa.
Na totela sana pachikosoleshi muletu pera. Honorable Palipi Kusheko question. Talk about
yeah. Bakadisha kumpongwe network kwati ya shupa tature mikutika mkwa tature miumfa.
Okay, nde miumfa.
Lande mkofwe. Mkwa.
Era chakumaloni amaloni ya dire. Wibanga abantu obo bapera ababwesha. Mwirande pweyo. Barepera makadazi nibanga abantu ababwesha amaloni. Imise bose batulaya kuno kumpongwe tapalifire chikana ngufimo. Ama hospital batulaya kumpongwe tapalifike na ngufimo. Na tasha ona lepo bombe ni bwino.
Mkwai to atasha mkwai mubaposhe kuna kumpongwe mkwai. Let's take another one on 0955221515. Good morning.
Zaki shani.
Bwino mulishani mkwai.
Ndipo bwino wachama Alan kuzingalume.
Wachama Alan. Mkwai wachama.
Wenka ya milimo, wanka token fire. How are you?
Wachama mwachinje shinariani. Newo Mutotwe Kafwaya.
Mutotwe. Anisanza muntu wandi. Imote mwa imini na kupusu sabina Zambia. Icho wakatotwe bumba lienu muma nefye. Ile unipi afune mumaka aishile ku MMD. Ile MMD afumine kumaka aishile ku PF. Ile PF afumapo. Ile nyema wanfata jona wa UPND. Ava 1 sala number 1. Number 2 wali kwa telu chu. Vacancy. Nokubomba echo basirirwe. Yule nibumba liendifama structure jali intact wa Mutotwe Kafwaya. Yani wino sana. Ile mwa sana mwa trele kesha kwapa. Lelo yune asamaran. Watu kuchitavyo muntu nambali nyapa. Pantwala mufwaila wa mukake. Abawala mukukaka umuntu alipala nyama nomination. So make sure nga kwa shaba 4-5 months. Mkamulete muntu nishi wa studies of parliament. Our president is able to use other state agencies. That's where my worry is. Be one in that one. We are together. We'll flush them out. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chama. I'll be taking one last call on 0955-221515. That's the number you're calling us on this morning on our Thursday edition of the Burning Issue. And our guest, like I earlier said, is Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya. He is Member of Parliament for Lunte constituency and former Cabinet Minister in the Patriotic Front regime. All right, so let me take this one. Good morning.
Francis Mubintika East Monamuziza, calling you from Lusaka town. Good morning to you, Zach and Honorable Mutotwe Kafwaya. How are you this morning?
Thank you. Thank you very much. We're good, Francis. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Yes. Kafwaya usually very well presidential material. I'm encouraging you, those who've got ears to hear, those who've got eyes to see, those who've got brain to think, will pick out a lot of things from what you've said. And to the government, when you see intelligent people in the opposition like Mutotwe Kafwaya coming on radio or addressing the floor of the House in Parliament, pay particular attention. I said to the president, don't pay too much attention to
your advisors or who are very close to you who cheat you, because normally a lot of presidents, advisors, they want to tell the president what the president wants to hear. If you want to hear the truth from the ground, how people are suffering, how things are going, how the economy is moving, listen to people from the Kafwaya who are open-minded. At the end of the day, they're given a proper checks and balances. So what has been discussed today so far and so on, the intelligent German people already picked up who is telling the truth, who is doing what. At the end of the day, you've still got a few months to go. 4 years of something that you've not done, that you still need to know, and Mutotwe Kafwaya keeps on reminding you of some of the things that you've not done. So this little time that you have, don't concentrate on fixing the opposition, on working on anybody. Imagine how unprecedented the unprecedented developments that they brought. Bridges here, they built schools, health facilities, roads, name it, infrastructure. But the people remove them because of one thing that the road had about maybe the cadres and so on. But they've learned a thing or two now. With you as UPND, tell the people what have you done, what better things you think you're able to do better than what others have done in the past. This is what you should focus on right now, rather than political persecution and throwing up the opposition. Then lastly, to the Kafwaya, I want to ask one thing. The issue of retirees, I'm told so many, 220 million so far was released. It must have been last week or the other week in the member of parliament. Which retirees are they targeting? Those who retired a year ago, those who retired 5 years ago, or those who retired 10 years ago? Which retirees and what criteria are they using to pay those retirees? Because this issue of retirees are saying, I was hearing some politicians saying, no, if it's now so retirees. We thought maybe one of them were paid now. These are still coming back. So which retirees are being paid? And then how do you show accountability when retirees are paid? We want to be knowing. When this group of who have been paid, these have not been paid, because others simply say no. But the line of sometimes of the Ministry of Finance, whatever, when PF was in government, yet never but others have come out sporadically to say no, we not receive our. So what kind of advice should you give to the intelligence on how retirees will be sorted out from the money that has been released? So nobody skills that money and put it in their own fingers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you. He deliberately gave you an extra few seconds because you were our last caller. But thank you very much. And so, yeah, please just react to those.
Bazaki abantu n'abalanda bavuta tutu Catherine n'abalanda n'abantwani abatutumina ku bachamala nkuzingalume ero nabo bashalikisha nabo balanda pavuta tutu Frefwaya bena zambi balanda kuli ifwe ba opposition balanda na kubuteko bwa UPND. So ubu ba UPND nga bali kwatama tubawumfwa na ifwe bali mu opposition nga natkwatama tweet wawumfwa ukuyumfwere fya abantu balechula ababa chitumina kumpongwe inenshikala kumpongwe inenjikala muchilenje kuno kulusaka muchilenje emona apo emyaka eyingisa. So ama problems tulemona kuno nayo tumona ku Northern Province nga tuleya kumwesu ku oyo tumona ku Lunte eyali na kumpongwa abantu balechula okushitisha mataba kubuteko balechula babuteko muri ndwi ngafirafira ngre Jack Mwembo parliament ndwi. Your people are suffering. But ibukisheni ababa lechula ebali abene mwatani ni omufundo mwaleba pero omufundo mameda lidia ba inyokolo mabalima ukubashitanako waba mulandu ukweba fyati mushite waba mulandu efyalanda babafumine kumpongwe bati batweba nokutweba ukutila toje ntwe mikoselesha imo ba opposition ikataneni nga mwaikatana mukalubula kino kyalo kyesu kya Zambia fimo fine fya isalanda baalani kufuna kuzingalu bati imo omulandu mwakwatana ngwinchito mwakwata muri kino kyalo palinda kai akwisalubula kino kyalo ifi tulelanda eto tulelandile efi tulelanda efi pantu abantu bale mfu obukali kufira ekitika muri kino kyalo bale mfu obukali na mwishi bati taxi driver pakwe bati akumanisha food tank ya kuti abike muri ka taxi pakuti apange ndara meshamano na mwishi bani lungo lwafuri okuposa muri ka alioni na muri ka kolola pakubika food tank nishinga lyaba president baya mkuyumfwati twalibwesha umutengo wa mafuta bapitenshi kushibiri balunda na kabiri ba ERB bantu baba president te bantu baba opposition bantu baba president chimono kuya mukukansa ba president atifya mulelanda tefyo mwamona so ubuteko ifwe tulebukoseresha ine paluandi ndekoseresha ubuteko kwamba okumfa ku bantu nangwishitana ipwa limbi muri ututwini otumye institution otunona uti mwachitako chimo chako bati abantu bashara barembibukisha bantu ifimona oti mwali chitefi fiena fia fikesa miletera fia maria shaya kosa aya kose chipesha mano chindola dio kare jwenda ndapochera bushiku mopani ndapochera bushiku fika miletera maria shaya kosa mukabwese shavena Zambia teti muvure fintu mulepera vena fialo katwishinga kuipela ngakupela vena fialo pantu how can you love foreigners so much that you even you start giving them mama mind kuba pela umgodi for nothing umgodi wanyu ukupela umuntu umwina fialo limbi mwaipela fi echo mukani na nokufireta ku parliament bantu bonse abamwapele emisebo bonse tukaveshi baba bakunu maveni abapokende tukaveshi ngati waveshi babapokendera mukabwesha this I have to tell you, you pay back abantu bachula teti mulechusha abantu musangolo notutu inotuma kampani mupanga utuwa kubika pakati ka fintu you see bazesco barepanga malaiti kulia ku Southern Province ku Karibaini yambe barepangira ku Victoria Falls yambe barepangira ku umwale kanalekana elo bare kulia kupanga malaiti kulia beta generation elo bare ya posa nomba muli ififi mapo mwali fimona fifi mapo tali fili fia isa pitati wo fia ya mwafi monate da beta distribution tefi elo babika no tutuma po tu penta tu pita maya ndoto distribution yate bazesco eba chita fiance generation transmission and distribution fiance eba chita bazesco eba vika mwempia mu generation distribution and generation transmission and distribution then you go and make a company mwaisa kabika somewhere somewhere ekamba ukulashtisha amalaiti ayo bazesco bapangile ayo bachitra transmit ayo bachitra distribute but tebazesco bareshtisha kuli ulya nika company akani nchito shikarebo ako ka company kakwa nani echo bare chuli la bantu because ubuteko tabule ikalo kula tonton kanyati bushe ifi abantu bare chula patwala chitasha akutila ifintu fibe bwino bena bare chitatwala panga shani ka company akakuyabika pakati ka ichi that's why inapadi napsa pari kama pakati yakarepo kama tofis lwenu.
Honorable Kafwaya, thank you very much for coming. We appreciate that you made it. And of course, we can only wish you all the best, the Patriotic Front all the best, and the people of Lunte all the best, and yourself all the best as Parliament opens next week. As you go back to Parliament, obviously the people of Lunte are expecting a lot from your representation. And such we can only say all the best. Well, listener, thank you very much for having followed our conversation, and for those that managed to come through and participated on our conversation and other platforms. We appreciate that, and more so, we appreciate our partner radio stations that carried this program live from the beginning to now. And of course, let me make mention of them. Katete FM in the Eastern Province. We are grateful to Millennium Radio here in Lusaka, and thank you very much to Radio Ichengelo in Kitwe. I kept forgetting about it. Radio Ichengelo in Kitwe, we appreciate because you did carry this live. So we had 3 radio stations on the Copper Belt: Platinum Radio in Indola, Radio Ichengelo in Kitwe, and also iWave FM Radio in Chingola, and also ZFM in Kapiri. We appreciate, and Kabwe Spice FM, and Tuta FM in Mansa, Muchinga Radio in Chinsali. Well, that's it. That's all we had for you. We'll definitely be coming back next week, God willing, with both Tuesday and Thursday editions of The Burning Issue. For all of us here, it's take care of yourselves and more so of each other. Bye-bye.
Tune in next week for another edition of The Burning Issue, and thank you for your participation.